What's happening, Midwest Street Talk fam? Welcome back to another powerful episode where we shed light on the real stories of the homeless, addicted, and mentally unstable. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and join the Street Warriors where we stand up for those who need a voice. Let's get it. So who do I have here today?
Oh, hey, my name is Anastasia. I live in Appleton, Wisconsin, local AF.
Okay. And is that where you're from?
I am not. So I grew up on the East Coast in New Hampshire. It's a tiny state. It's got lots of mountains, rivers, very North Woodsy. But it also has a coastline on the ocean. It's cool.
Dope. And how about your upbringing? Did you have mom, dad in the house coming up?
So I grew up with, my mom was a native from New Hampshire, but she no longer lives in New Hampshire. She said, I'm getting older and I don't like the cold weather, and now she's down there in Texas. She's very happy though, so I'm happy for her that she's happy. I have two older brothers. They're super cool people. They're super cool. One of them is a welder and the other one is super great with like internet stuff and like technology. And I think both of those things are impressive because I'm not good at either one.
Dope. So you close with them?
We're not like super close. We should talk more, but it's not just a me thing, it's a we thing. So we talk when we talk, and when we talk, it's nice, it's fun. We don't see each other very much, but when we do, it's really cool.
I ain't hear you mention your dad. What about your pop?
Oh, sorry. My dad lives in Pennsylvania. My dad's a super cool dude. He works at Outback Steakhouse. He's not very tall, but that also doesn't matter. I'm also not very tall. One of my brothers is like 6 feet tall though. Like, gosh. It's horrible for buying shoes. Big shoes, big price, more expensive. Yeah, my dad's really cool though. He lives in Pennsylvania. I have the same dad as my brothers, and that's cool. Not that it makes much of a difference, but...
Are you close with him?
We're not like close, but we talk every now and again, and it's nice when I get to talk to him. I got to see him a few years ago because we took this wild road trip. Like, my brothers were in Vermont at the time, and they drove out here from Vermont, and then we went to Pennsylvania to pick up my uncle, and then we got to stop and say hi to my dad. And then we went down to Florida, and on the way to Florida, because I'm just me and whatever, I like left my phone in a West Virginia truck stop restroom, and my brothers are so great. It took a week because we were in Florida for a week, and they made sure that I got it back from a rest stop in Virginia. So that's pretty wild. It's like, that's lucky. It's weird though. That's the reason that I have a lock screen now on my phone, is because someone went in and made a Metallica station on my Pandora, and I was like, what is this? Metallica.
That's strange. So what are some of the things you witnessed coming up on the East Coast or living on the East Coast?
Growing up on the East Coast, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, where I grew up in New Hampshire, there's like no diversity, zero diversity. So it was like kind of dealt with a little bit of like prejudice growing up. Like, there are people that didn't like me just because, well, there's like a lot of people that didn't like me just because like I'm not white, and that was like really weird for me because I don't really dislike people by default. I don't really care what you look like. I'm like, as long as you're not, a bad person, whatever, as long as I don't have a problem with you. But so that was a thing. But then like when I was like in like 7th grade, we moved down to North Carolina, and that was like the biggest culture shock I'd ever experienced in my life. Like, that's not technically true. We did visit New York because I was born in New York, so we went there to visit some family out there, and that was insane because like New Hampshire, it's small, it's rural, it's slow, it's not fast-paced at all. You go to New York, and New York is like everything is just like it just moves really fast. And then like, so where we lived in North Carolina though, after that, it was very rural, but at the same time extremely diverse, and that was like really different for me because I wasn't used to interacting with people like that on a daily basis. So it was really cool. And then moving back to New Hampshire after that, it was like, y'all are
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. So what about living here in Appleton? What's the weirdest stuff? Like what's the craziest thing you ain't seen down here?
I actually really like Appleton a lot. I think I probably like Appleton the most out of anywhere that I've lived. If I could say anything about problems that Appleton has, there's the homeless, well, I shouldn't say homeless. There's a better way to say this.
Unhoused.
Yeah. People. There's a lot of people that experience difficulty with finding and maintaining home situations. And I got really lucky with mine because my rent isn't that much for what I have, but it's also just me doing it. So I mean that's a bit of a struggle, but I was homeless when I first moved to Appleton, and so I stayed in the shelter. Then I was in a bad situation, and I wasn't homeless for a little while, and then I was homeless again in the middle of winter, and I was like, this is terrible, but I didn't die, and that's good. Not dying is good. I'm still alive. Hi. And I've had the same place for 5 years, and I feel that's pretty impressive on its own, because I'm actually really bad at a lot of things, but I managed to do that, and that's good.
What worked for you?
Pardon?
What worked for you? What helped?
Just being resilient, not giving up. I so since I've moved to Appleton, I've had 2 jobs that I've maintained the entire time. Haven't been fired from either one. Quit one of them one time, then got asked hired back, and then I almost quit the other one, and then I decided that I wanted to keep working there because I don't like change. And then I've done a couple other different jobs, but I quit those jobs, so that's good. But yeah, just really not giving up is the only thing that works for me, because otherwise, what do I have going for me?
So you got any kids?
I have one. She's 10 years old. She's this tall. I don't know why she's this tall, but she's this tall.
She's kind of giant.
Oh yeah, for sure. Her birthday was yesterday, so she's 10 years old, and I think that's really cool because
Happy belated birthday to her too.
Heck yeah, thank you. It's just wild to me because as a teenager, I never would have seen myself having a kid, and here I am. I'm 30. And she just turned 10 years old, and she's just the most amazing person in the world. It's so incredible just watching her grow, watching her learn things and form her own opinions. And I think that's super cool, and I'm so proud of her. And she's 10 years old. Her name is Dinara, and she's such an amazing person. She's we just adopted her cat the other day. The day before her birthday, we adopted her cat, which is super cool because I've never had a cat before, and so I'm okay, well, it's her cat. Now I get to teach her responsibility and all that stuff, as far as other things goes. And so that's gonna be really good. I finally got a litter scoop today. Those are important. Cats are stinky if you don't take care of them.
So question, Anastasia, what do you think? What was the cause of your homelessness originally?
I think honestly the biggest cause of my homelessness was just not being prepared to sustain myself. I don't feel I had any preparation for that at all. It was when I was younger, it was really difficult for me to find jobs. I don't know if that's because of my name, because I've been told that that can be a thing. If your name is too ethnic sounding, sometimes they won't hire you, and it's dude, it's not my fault that this is my name. I'm an American citizen. I need a job because you can't survive without money. And
I always said they should have made it a class in school,
Oh,
life
sure.
application,
Yeah, that would have been extremely helpful, And I mean, I think in some ways they made an effort to try to help me be more prepared. But then I also have to acknowledge too, my own shortcomings and whatever. I struggle so hard to focus on things, and I have a really bad memory. and I just like I'm not very organized. So like those are things that also worked against me at the same time. But I mean that's not really something that like school can help. That's more something that like when you're struggling as a child, it is your parents' job to take care of you and try to get you the resources that you need. So if you are a parent out there who has a young child who is struggling with things and you're getting frustrated and you don't know what to do, get your child help, dude. Oh my God, find a child psychologist. Your child deserves it. If you don't help your child with their mental health at an early age, it can develop into things that are much worse, that are going to completely hinder your child from having help your child when they're young. They deserve it.
So you struggle with mental health?
I do, but not well. I'm working.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what are some of the things you battle?
I have ADHD, I have PTSD, I have anxiety, and I have depression. And they said I'm bipolar, but we're trying to figure that one out right now. That's a thing that's in the works, But I've been taking my meds consistently, and I'm feeling pretty good. So, got that going for me.
You come off as normal to me, so I mean, what is normal to tell you the truth? They say people say that the autistic people are not normal, but if they're focusing all their attention on one thing, and that's dangerous to me. That's an effective mind to me. You ask me. So who is crazy, right?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, I feel like most autistic people are a hell of a lot better than like your like general normal people. Like, oh my God.
The higher the spectrum, the higher the genius, huh?
Oh, absolutely. But you don't want your jeans like by your armpits, Probably want them like waistline, because if they're too high, that might be uncomfortable. It'll chafe.
So Anastasia, man, I definitely want to update you later on and see how you're doing. If anybody out here wants to reach out to you, do you have a social media, something you want to share or anything like that?
I'm Andy Von Krieger.
On Facebook, Instagram?
I can't access Instagram because Instagram doesn't like me anymore, and I'm really irresponsible. And last year I lost like 4 phones. I'm not proud of that. It's just I have to accept it. So it doesn't make any sense to be upset about it. It's just it's like.
All right. Well, again, anything you want to tell the people before you get off?
I don't know. Just like. You deserve to be happy, and if you're not happy, then you deserve to not feel scared to try to do what you need to be happy. Don't hold yourself back, and don't let other people hold you back,
Okay, well, thank you for the interview, Anastasia, and I'll be